In just a few hours, the Federal Reserve will announce its next interest rate decision. It comes despite the effective blackout of federal economic data because of the government shutdown. CBS News MoneyWatch correspondent Kelly O'Grady is live from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange this morning. Kelly, you've been talking about this all week. What are the expectations and how are they coming to this decision given the blackout of economic information?
Yeah, so we are expecting a quarter-point rate cut. This would be the second one this year and would actually take the benchmark interest rate down to the lowest level that we have seen it since the end of 2022, so back in November 2022. So it is pretty significant. That being said, there are a lot of investors that have pointed out exactly what you just mentioned, that because we don't have the traditional jobs report, we don't have all of the inflation reports that we normally get with the government being shut down, that the Fed should take more of a wait-and-see approach. We did get one particular report, the CPI report that came out last week, and it showed that inflation had ticked up to 3%. Remember, you hear me say all the time, the Fed's target is 2% when it comes to inflation. And so some investors that I've spoken to have sort of cited that as like, well, that's actually pretty far from the Fed's 2% target. The reason why you are going to see a cut today, though, is that the prices ticked up in September less than expected. The expectation was it was going to go up to 3.1%. And the fact that we haven't gotten more data, it doesn't give the Fed a lot of sort of motivation to go and prioritize inflation when they've continued to see weakness in the labor market because they are looking at other reports, non-traditional ones from the private sector, Vlad.
All right. So could the Fed's thinking change if the government shutdown continues?
It could definitely, right? I mean, we are about to come into uncharted territory. We're coming up on that moment in a couple of days where this could be the longest government shutdown. And so then the Fed would be facing a meeting in December if they don't have even more economic data and say, well, you know, where do you go from here? I think that is going to be a question that Chair Powell gets asked about in the news conference. You know, what are you going to do if you don't have more data in the future? So I'm really interested to see how he's able to navigate that because you know as well as I do, Vlad, Chair Powell does not like to give a lot of details.
Yeah, that's for sure. Let's talk about NVIDIA. As you know, Kelly, it made history this morning as the first company to reach $5 trillion in market value. I mean, the question is explain the significance, but I think we get it, right?
Well, yeah, and it came on the back of NVIDIA's major conference. I thought it was really interesting. It was very pointed. It was located in D.C. for the first time, and the very first word that came out of CEO Jensen Huang's mouth yesterday during his keynote was America. And that was the theme, that NVIDIA is committed to making stuff in America, committed to American companies, committed to the U.S. government. What does this mean? It means that if you're looking at your 401k today, NVIDIA, of course, a big driver of a lot of that, with a lot of money being invested in index funds, which track, you know, the S&P, which the NVIDIA is a part of. You've also got big tech earnings today, and they're likely going to get a boost from all of this AI excitement. The flip side, Vlad, the more NVIDIA goes up, the more these other AI plays go up, and the more of the talk of the AI bubble comes. But it hasn't burst yet.
Yeah, I saw that the president was asked about that while he was on his travels in Asia. And clearly, it's a question that is on the minds of a lot of people, including reporters like yourself. So we'll see what happens. Kelly O'Grady, live from the floor. Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate you.